Hey guys, welcome back to Navigating Neva. I am the host of the podcast Navigating Neva, but today I have a presentation that I want to show you. I threw it together to help educate and explain stuff to some people. Just to give you a personal story, I have been teaching since 2001, and sorry, I've been teaching since 2000. I've been teaching for a long time, and I was taught by my peers. I modeled peers and I shadowed them, and then that's how I learned to teach. And then since then, I have gotten more and more certifications, and I've learned and I've learned and I've learned. And I own a swim school, and I have people come to me, and they have the same thing. They learned and they learned and they learned, and a lot of times they just shadow and they do as they're told. So this video is to bring education and awareness just to everybody, because sometimes we do what we're doing because that's what we know, or that's all we know. So let's dive a little deeper into swimming lessons and what we're doing and why. So, trauma bonding and infant swim compliance. So, we're going to talk about a story, Patty's story. So, the main discussion is that Patty, at 19, she was kidnapped by domestic terrorists. Obviously, this is not related to aquatics. I'm just letting you know the story to set the scene. She experienced intense fear, captivity, and dependence. Eventually, she participated in actions under duress, a survival adaptation. Her case illustrates how intense stress can rewire our behavior for survival. So, trauma bonding or learned helplessness, emotional survival strategies under extreme stress, meaning I wouldn't normally do that, but since I would die or I feel like I would, I will comply and do what you're saying. They're not my core beliefs, they're not my thought, but I'm going to submit and I'm going to do what I'm doing to live. The victim adapts to fear and powerlessness by accepting the situation. It's a neurological survival response. It's not real consent. Drown proofing. Infant and toddler survival swim lessons. Babies in high fear programs, forced floats, cry out swims are trapped. There's no escape and there's no resistance possible. The survival brain adapts, appearing calm to reduce harm. Why instructors misread survival behaviors. So on the surface, it looks like there's success. It looks like they're floating quietly and they're truly comfortable. That's not what is happening. In the survival mode, the calm equals submission to survive, not thriving to learn. Developmental blindness. Misunderstanding survival signals can reinforce harm. Compliance isn't consent. It's survival isn't success. We need child-led, consent-based swim education. If we want to do better, we have to learn to see better. Survival often masquerades as calmness. True learning looks like curiosity, connection, engagement. There's no shutting down, there's no silence. Child-led swim lessons. You get trust over trauma. So these are photos from me teaching. This little girl is on the steps. She's engaging. She's doing what I call stair play, and she's not being held. She's not being forced or coerced. She's learning on her own. She's reaching down for the toy. And in this setting, she's going to learn what the water does and how she responds. This little boy is learning to feel his float. He kicks his feet up, he floats, his feet come down. It's very beautiful. And this little girl is leaning forward to do a glide because she's choosing to. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for her consent. She initiates the fall forward. Words to reflect on. Clearly, I need to edit my stuff better. If you're ready to rethink, you should start here. Survival, watch for survival signals and respond with compassion. Prioritize connection, overall control, and lead children wherever possible. What survival signs have I missed before? These are questions you can ask yourself. Where am I valuing compliance over true connection? And how do I rebuild safety and trust my teaching? So, thank you for listening to my little video that I put together. I want to tell you that the reason I made it and put together this video today is I will be teaching instructors or teaching or talking, and people say, they did learn it. And I'm not going to argue with you. Maybe they did. But a lot of times I have children come to me and they won't engage because they're fearful, petrified. They're back in the same environment. They're back in a pool. They're back in a pool with nobody else, just me and them. And that's terrifying to them. I have met adults who are afraid. I have met adults who are afraid because of lessons they had at a young age. And I understand that. I fell to the bottom of a pool when I was 3. Then I was taken to lessons. It was a large pool. It was a white pool. It was huge to me. It was overwhelming. And this was just weeks after I had fallen and ascended to the bottom of my grandmother's pool. And the method that they wanted to teach me wasn't helpful for me. That method of teaching made me recoil even more. And instead of learning to swim at 3, I learned to swim at 7. So when I see children come to me, I want to meet them where they are. I want to nourish them. I want them to have a love and comfort of the water. I don't want to force them to do what I want. So a lot of times I'll have people say, I can't get the child to do anything else but float, but they can float. And I'm like, well, of course, because they're not actively learning. They're not engaged in the learning process. They've learned to submit, they've learned to roll over, and that's it. They can't do anything else. At other times, I get children, we're going to use this baby, for example. I'll get children and I want them to go from a position like this to a position like this. So I want you to go vertical to horizontal, horizontal to vertical. And they won't do anything. And I do light fingers, I hold fingers, and I provide support. But if all they know is what they've been forced into doing, they kind of shut down the learning process. And I mean, honestly, that's just asking for danger and fear later. Now, this works with a lot of kids. I know that. I'm not saying your program's bad. I am saying we always need to look at the whole child. If you guys have questions, please like and follow for more.